Right, where am I? Where is Bear here? Come on now, man. Alright, oh, we are live! Grrr, grrr. Greetings, humans. Greetings. And welcome back to another fun-filled episode. Here, 29-year veteran of the woods. I want to thank everybody out there for showing up. We've got a number of, hey, if you're a new viewer out there, we appreciate you. If you're a new subscriber, welcome to the channel out there. We've had a number of people checking out or subscribing out there, so hopefully you're going to enjoy what we're going to be doing here today. It's great to see Amy out here. Great to see Amy. Let's see. She has ice cream sandwiches in her house. Could be very good or very bad. Yes, indeed. Bear desperately needs some ice cream sandwiches here right now because, man oh man, Bear tried to make some salsa verde, some taco sauce out there, and holy cow, accidentally got the habanero pepper. Meant to get the other pepper. I got the habanero pepper. Wait, man oh man, Bear's tongue is, where is Bear's? Hold on just a second, people. Bear needs a drink. A stiff drink, probably. Where is it? There we go. Just some water there. Just some water there. Of course, you go to start your show. It's like, it's all downhill from here. All downhill from here. Another professional show. Well, Bear hopes. Bear, you're putting too much on Bear already at the very start of the show here, Amy. Thank you very much. Good to see VM. Great to see VM out there. That is some spicy salsa out there. Holy cow. Salsa verde out there. Supposed to be the lightest one. Bear's gonna do some tacos later, and let me try it out. Had it in the blender. Let me try it out. And, take a little sip of oh my God, the mouth. Tell you what, people. If you ever want to chase away bears, that's the way to do it. That's why they have the bear spray out there. What do they call that? The bear pepper spray or something like that. Bears are not known for their spicy, what do they call that? Tolerance out there for all that sort of stuff. Wait, that was spicy though. Very spicy. Anyways, getting a long way around it. Great to have any of the new members out there. And any of the Russian bots and or lurkers as well. Always enjoy those. Yes, indeed. Taco bear. I want to be a taco bear. Wait, no. Bear does not want to be in the taco. It just wants to eat the taco. Yes, indeed. All right, let's see. Where are we at here, Bear? Come on, man. We actually have some very important. Oh, shoot, I didn't bring it up. Oh, for crying out loud. Bear, hold on just 1 second. Bear's going to have to do this in another screen here. Hold on. Hold the phone here, people. It was a good story, too. It was a good story. Let's see here. Oh, it didn't save? Oh, for crying out loud. Bear had a good story. A cat on cocaine. A cat on cocaine out there. So, unfortunately, he doesn't have it. So we'll have to do that. We'll have to do that the next time here. I thought I saved that for some reason. All right. Anyways, some very important campaign. Some campaign update news for you good people out there. Let me get to it here. One of these days, professional show, yada out here. One more chance on the cursed, one of the most cursed campaigns of all time out there, and that would be the Shadow of the Conqueror, Enemies of Self. That's the Chronicles of Everfall. I'm sure there's one or two other titles in there as well, but there you go. That's Shad M. Brooks and Mike Miller. I'm doing an interesting book. He says, one more chance. Remember when I said you wouldn't get another email? I lied. She lied. He lied. Sorry, Mike. He lied. I just saw Melissa jump in there. I didn't mean to imply anything there. Great to have Melissa here. Great to have all of the Lesters here. Let's see. Mike says, well, okay, I didn't lie. Yes, you did, sir. You lied very much. That was the last email about the Indiegogo campaign, and we did close the campaign expecting to go to print right away. However, That is a big one right there. There were some major managerial shakeups at our printer. Once again, people, cursed campaign, which led to some major delays in the printing, along with having to fine-tune a bunch of stuff to the leather-bound books. Looking forward to the leather-bound. That would be interesting. Which stinks, but also ended up giving us a new print deadline and the ability to make this project available pre-sale one last time, unfortunately, through Kickstarter. It's going to be interesting to see if Mike gets kicked off of Kickstarter once again there. Shad made a video about it. You can check that out there. Kickstarter has no in-demand store, so this will last 30 days. If you can get, you can get Shadow of the Conqueror. If you can get Shadow of the Conqueror, and you can click now for the pre-order. What else can you do? Share the campaign. Let everybody know who loves comics or fantasy, or just wants to try something new. A Shadow of the Conqueror is for them. They couldn't do it without you. Please spread the word. Yada, yada, yada. Awesome campaign. Shad, Mike, and the team, people. That would be the team out there. So anyways, I got that. You can check out the video there if you want to check. Actually, let me do the thing with the thing. That would be helpful. That would be helpful. So you can check it out here. Oh, for crying out loud. Why does it give me the long? Anyways, you can check it out on the, how do you pronounce that? Shadiversity. I think it's called Shadiversity out there. He's got the campaign up there where you can check out more about all that great stuff. Shadow of the Conqueror, Enemies of Self. The Chronicles of Everfall out there. There you go. That is a long title. Cursed campaign. I mean, there's been people that have died, colorists, all sorts of things out there for this campaign. So we'll see. I'm kind of actually interested to see if Kickstarter would actually do another Mike Miller campaign. That's going to be interesting. The one thing Bear would say, I wish that they would do a different cover. I'm not sure. They had like 4 or 5 covers for this campaign. I remember Mike. Let's see, there were 1 or 2 others there. Kanan White was doing one. I think they should just do a Kickstarter only cover out there. Get I don't know if Kevin Sharp is doing anything, but get Kevin Sharp on that. That would be a good cover. Bear's not going to check out Kickstarter though. We've had kind of a no Kickstarter policy here. It's about to start to become a no Indiegogo policy. We'll see. We will see what goes on with that. P-Money's here for the dance party, but he ain't dancing. He's the party pooper staying in the punch bowl. You do not pee. You do not poop in the punch bowl, sir. Or pee. Either or. Either or, sir. Either or out there. So, anyways, that was the only campaign update out there. Let me double check. I just got another email. Where is it? Hold on 1 second, people. No, not Adorama. I don't need Adorama for crying out loud. That's not what beer needs right now. So anyways, that was that. Hopefully many of you were able to check that out. But if you do chance want to go onto Kickstarter out there, you can go ahead, check it out. I don't know anything, but hopefully probably the same price and everything. I know they had an issue with their printing cost out there. They were trying to save some money on the printing cost, but the Indiegogo campaign made, what was it? It was over $500,000. I'm pretty sure. Maybe only a quarter. It was quite a lot of money out there. Quite a lot of money out there that they made. So probably don't have to worry too much about the printing stuff. Other than it being shipped from Australia. That's like at the other side of the world, people. That's crazy. That is crazy. Kevin would do well, but he's great at drawing anything. That's true. That's true. But I mean, kind of up his kind of alley there with, people with swords and, the swords and sandals type stuff out there. Kevin, I won't say specializes in that, but yeah, that's kind of in his wheelhouse there. So hopefully, like I said, I don't know what they're doing with it. Bear doesn't have Kickstarter, so, Bear doesn't go to Kickstarter, so I don't know anything about that. But yeah, hopefully if you haven't checked it out before, you can check it out now, people. Yes, indeed. All right, let me get back to the thing with the thing because did I have it here? Beer have it here. Beer have it here. If you're new here, sometimes Beer talks about crypto stuff. I know that's what everybody talks about here. Everybody's wanting Beer to talk about, but gosh dang it, did I not have it? For crying out loud. Anyways, long story short, a bank in Silicon Valley went belly up. No shenanigans. They just lost money. They just lost some money out there. So there's a whole stable coin issue there. Let's see. The stable coin was trading at. It's supposed to be 1 for 1. So if you have one, whatever, ether or something like that, dollars worth, it's supposed to be worth $1. They're supposed to have money in the bank out there. Oops, we forgot about that. I'm sorry. So a lot of people, I think it's trading at like 90 cents per dollar or something. So, whoops-a-daisy out there. Anyways, Beer will not bore anybody else with his crypto stuff. All right, where was the thing? Hold on 1 second. A lot of people are joining and say, you know, I would love to see a professional show, and Beer just completely falls down on the job. Yes, indeed. All right, here we go. Geez. OBS. Beer needs to clean up OBS here. Needs to clean it up, people. Yes, indeed. A Bear's dance party has no music. Well, sorry about that. I didn't mean to falsely advertise out here for you, P-Money, but you can have some of the music in the background, I suppose. Beer doesn't have any copyright-free stuff here, so we'll just have to do without. Just have to do without it, sir. Let's see. Amy says it does seem like they should drop ship from the U.S. for domestic orders. I'm assuming for the Chateau of the Conqueror out there. I'm not sure how they're doing it, because there was some stuff that was coming signed. So, like, Shad was going to have to sign it somehow, and then it was going to be shipped, and Mike was going to, I think Mike was going to sign it. But maybe it was only Mike that was signing some of this stuff out there, but, yeah, that's going to be kind of interesting. It'll be kind of interesting. Want to see what people think about the leather-bound books. That's going to be kind of an interesting, you don't see, let's see, I think, correct Beer out here. Let's see, what was it? Earthworm Jim? I believe Earthworm Jim, the first one, came out in a leather-bound. I'm trying to remember if Bigfoot Bill came out. Doug TenNapel kind of started the trend there. Let's see, did anybody else do a leather-bound? I don't recall. I don't recall if anybody else did one out there, but that might be an interesting one. But that's where all the hang-ups are, apparently, so there you go. There you are. All right, our good friends out here, Bounding into Comics, John F. Trent out here. Okay, first off for Beer, anything kind of race-related or anything like that, man, oh man, it bores Beer's socks off here. You know, you people out there, I mean, Beer takes a swipe, you bleed the same blood, you're all pink on the inside out there. Who cares what the skin is? It doesn't really matter. Just different cultures and stuff like that, sure, but, black, white, red, brown, Eskimo, purple, whatever. All those people probably are aiming guns at Beer, so they all kind of fit into the same category there. Anyways, they go on. We've got a point here, but Beer's just going to read this little bit here. James Gunn, our good friend, can he spend a week without just tripping over his shoelaces here? Defending the race swapping of the high evolutionary in the Guardians of the Galaxy numero 3 out here, by accusing a fan of having, quote, racist presumptions. I tell you, if you don't want to have anything, especially racist presumptions out there. James Gunn looking to get into the Guy Ferrari fan club out here. James Gunn, the current CEO of DC, co-CEO, by the way, of DC Studios and the director of the third Guardians of the Galaxy, took to Instagram, because he's just got so much free time on his hands, apparently, to accuse a fan of, quote, racist presumptions for decrying a race swap of the high evolutionary in the upcoming Marvel film. Is this film going to even make money? We're going to see. Gunn shared a photo of actor, help bear out here, people. Come on. Chad Chukwudi Awuri. IWUJ. Oh, for crying out loud. Steve Smith, we'll call him. Steve Smith. James Gunn shared a photo of actor Steve Smith, who plays the High Evolutionary in the upcoming film, to his Instagram. Let's find that here. It says, what does he say? He says, oh, for crying out loud, we're a professional show one of these days. There we go. He says, I'm sorry, people. There we go. He says, I can't wait for y'all to meet this guy. Hashtag Steve Smith, Guardians of the Galaxy High Evolutionary. Yes, indeed. Now, right away, people. Again, not having anything to do with race, just based on aesthetics and lighting issues and that sort of deal. Apparently the guy, James Gunn's going to talk about it with him being purple and all that sort of stuff, or wearing a purple suit out there. I guess that's sort of purple. They have it where it's a really dark purple, and of course a dark fellow out there. And then he's got the dark background, which all just kind of blends together and just kind of this blur of like, blah. And it's like, okay, if you're going to have the guy, you know, poor Steve Smith out there, and okay, fine, whatever ethnicity, that's fine. Make it where it fits his ethnicity. So, you know, if you're going to have the suit there, make it a little bit more brighter, I guess, brighter purple out there. Make it a better contrast, because this ain't a good contrast. Forget about the race swapping and all that other stuff. It's just looks ugly. No offense, Steve Smith out there. Just looks ugly out there. So anyways, they had somebody popping off here. Wanted to make a little statement here. What does he say? He says, let me get you people back here. This is a bit better lit than the Batman. This is true. Amy is with Bear here. Amy is with Bear on we'll get to the Batman here just momentarily. Momentarily here. And pardon Bear here of some of the words here. Gosh darn it, another white guy they made into a black guy. Why couldn't they just leave him white? Or I don't know, pick a different minority. How about an Asian or a Latino? They have about 5 Latinos and Asians in the MCU. What was that? Namor? Namor is out there. Or make him an Indian, Native American? Native American or the Dot Indian? I don't know. Let's do both. Let's just do. He's a Native American Indian out there. Or something, because next time they don't and won't, that makes them woke. Next time a major character, either a hero or villain, will be a trans, a homosexual, or non-binary. When in the comics they're not. It's sad, pathetic. They're picking based on race and what's PC and not on acting and what's established out there. I'm trying to remember, I think the Steve Smith guy, wasn't he in like Amistad or something like that? He's a good actor, if that's the same fella out there. I couldn't say anything about the actor, whatever, it's fine. It just doesn't look right. As Bear says, it's badly lit and all this other stuff. So there you go. You got a guy just kind of popping off, just like, okay, you know, this is my thoughts and whatever. And you'd figure, okay, you're head of a major studio, or, you know, part of a studio, DC Studios out there. You've got plenty on your plate. You're writing your Superman script. You're doing all of the other stuff out there. You know, first things first, you see this and you're like, okay, whatever. That's like your opinion, man. It's like, okay, move on. Move on. No, not James. Not James out here. Of course he's got to reply out here. What does he say? He says, I chose the best actor. That's fine. I'm sure he's a fine actor. Nobody's saying either good or bad or anything like that. Period. And the best person for the role. I don't give a what ethnicity Steve Smith is out there. So stop with your quote racist presumptions on why he was chosen. And by the way, he's playing a guy who's almost purple in the color. Yeah, but the purple in the color doesn't look very well. So Anyway, why would you stop your day? It's like, what was his name here? Hold on just 1 second. R. Juliet Rat 78 out there. He's saying, holy cow, R. Juliet 78 out there, Rat 78. Gosh darn it, I need to rush to Twitter. Or what is this? Instagram. I gotta rush to Instagram out there, and gosh darn it, I gotta put my stink on it here. So there he goes. Yeah, okay, fine. You could have just said I chose the best actor, period. Boom, done. I'm fine. I just chose the best actor. That's it. He did really well. You'll see coming up in whatever, couple months, whatever it is. Who knows? Who cares? Beer's not going to see it. Doesn't really matter. Let's see the Bound Again comics folk. Did I say that? Let's see. John F. Trent. He continues. He says, it's ironic that Gunn not only accuses this fan of having racist presumptions, but he thinks this fan is so stupid to believe that the Walt Disney Company doesn't have quotas when it comes to casting. And they put up this little slide from one of their diversity things out there. And the casting quota was published right on the Walt Disney Company's Reimagine Tomorrow website, where it stated by 2022, last year, 50% of regular and reoccurring characters across Disney general and entertainment scripted content. That's a mouthful. Hold on, I gotta take a drink. Disney general entertainment scripted content will come from underrepresented groups. By the way, when you put in underrepresented groups in there, and now they're 50%, are they still underrepresented? At what point do the underrepresented groups becoming represented, are they still underrepresented out there? Haven't found that line just yet. He goes on, he says it's also quite galling to claim they actually chose the best actor and best person for the role when he chose not to have Henry Cavill continue in the role of Superman for his upcoming Superman legacy film. Of course, he goes on, Henry was never cast, he said. Henry's too old. We didn't fire Henry. Henry was never cast. He was too old. Old man Henry out there. Poor guy. Let's see, Eric July, blah, 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 blah. Don't need to get into that. Anyways, goes on. Let's see, and comes to another viewer out here that says, hey, man. Hey, yo. Then make black comic book characters, or bring back old ones, like, what was his name? Steamboat. Gotta bring back Steamboat out there. Making white characters black isn't solving the problem. I'm on your side, man. I think there should be more black superheroes. But when you start taking white superheroes and changing their race, gender, for the sole purpose of being diverse, it's just kind of sad. Which, by the way, kind of goes into something else Beer was thinking about here. Think back on almost 100 years. Think back on the old Soviet Union out there, or even today communist China or something like that. How many great works of art or artists out there can you think of from the old Soviet Union, or maybe communist China out there? Any of the great painters, writers, sculptors, yada yada yada. You can't think of anything, can you? I mean, there really aren't any. I mean, you probably say, maybe ballet from the Soviet times, but they actually came from before the Soviet times, so they just kind of latched on to the ballet there. So there really isn't any. So when the guy comes in and is like, okay, we'll make your own character. Well, that's not the point. They can't make their characters because they really don't have any really talent out there. They can rewrite old characters. They can make everybody think that it's new because they swapped the race or something like that. But really, it's just kind of old characters with old ideas out there. Anyways, James Gunn goes on here and he says, what does he say? Gosh darn it. That's pretty simple. Conrad Cutty out there. I gotta take time out of my day to respond to Conrad Cutty. That's pretty simple, because 95% of all superheroes have historically been white. It makes sense that we start adapting them to film in the modern era, that some characters who were originally white become another ethnicity to more accurately reflect our world. In most cases, it would not make sense to take a character originally another ethnicity and make them white, because there are already so many white superheroes out there. Well, let's just say, for example, I don't know. What was the Viola Davis movie that just came out? The something Queen Warrior or something like that. She was it was essentially the tribes in Africa that were selling the slaves, and they says, "Oh, no, we're the good guys." No. The film bombed and all that sort of stuff. But let's just say that film did great. They says, let's get rid of all these superhero movies and let's just do, you know, films based in Africa for some reason. All straight up, everything. So, 90% of the tales that come out of Africa probably, have to deal with, you black folk out there. You wouldn't want to go around and just say, "Oh, well, let's just arbitrarily make, this black, from years and years past. Let's make them white for no apparent reason whatsoever." You wouldn't do that, or Chinese, or South American, or something like that. So that doesn't read very well there, James. Doesn't read well very all. This response makes clear, Mr. Trent says, that Gunn's comments about Steve Smith being the best actor and best person for the role are circumspect at best. He's clearly admitting to race swapping simply to, quote, reflect our world. And in fact, we got to show some of the guy here. There he is, right there. On top of this, Steve Smith can't be the best actor for the role because the fan points out he doesn't even look like the character. The High Evolutionary, or Herbert Edward Wyndham, was clearly a white man who lived in the suburbs of London, as described in X Factor Annual Number 3. So there he is, right there. He would eventually craft his iconic suit. Again, look at the suit. If you could have just had the same suit there. See how kind of bright, almost pinkish, I would suppose, but purple out there. Have that. That would be a better contrast out there. He would eventually craft his iconic suit after being attacked by a werewolf. Oh my goodness. While conducting experiments in a citadel of science located at Mount Windagore. Windagore. Holy cow, that is a bad mountain to be on. Accusing fans of, quote, racist presumptions because they want the character to be accurate to the comics is a clear red flag for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. The Walt Disney Company has attempted this tactic on numerous occasions, almost all of them trying to deflect from the poor quality, specifically showcased by the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Let me get back to it here. Where is it? Come on, man. Oh, for crying out loud. There we go. The tactic isn't just used by the Walt Disney Company. Amazon attempted to follow their lead with the Rings of Power, and like Obi-Wan, the series, the quality clearly wasn't lacking there as well. Yes, indeed. Again, you really have to do some really harsh lighting on his face there just to kind of bring it out, because it's going to blend in with the dark background that you have back there. Again, had nothing to do with poor Steve Smith there and his acting abilities or anything like that. It just doesn't look right. Doesn't look right at all there. And of course, I haven't got into the whole James Gunn thing, but man, he's not a very good director. Everything's all center shot. All your characters are always centered. He's got a little bit of a tilt here, but everything's all centered. And, blah. It also clearly reveals that the Z-Man out there, we'll get to this in just a moment here, made a huge mistake by hiring Gunn as the CEO of DC Studios. If he's willing to attack people for wanting an accurate description of the source material over a Marvel film, it's more than likely he will deploy the same tactic at DC. We will see. And if the past decade has shown us anything, this type of behavior results in people walking away from your project. One only needs to look at the state of the MCU. And the most recent, we were talking about the Ant-Man just the other day. For the Z-Man, this could mean more losses and more debt for an already beleaguered company. Now that's an interesting take, but Bear has a different take out there. A little bit of a different take out there. Anyways, this just kind of wanted to set. Hey, he's pulling off his Guy Ferrari impression right there. Diners, drive-ins, and dives. Oh boy, wow. Anyways, so just kind of setting the table with that. Anyways, Bear, once again, you are all pink on the inside, people. All bleed the same blood. It matters not. Matters not to Bear. Again, I mean, if the guy was white in the comics, you'd want to have, kind of the same thing. I can see where some of the detractors are coming from. I'm sure you could have found a pretty good white actor out there that would have wanted the role. I'm sure the guy's gonna do fine. Bear's not gonna watch it regardless, so it doesn't really matter. Haven't seen the other two movies because of shall we go there? Certain tweets out there that James Gunn out there, he was just joking around, folks. Just joking around out there. So, anyways, not gonna go see that. Don't really care. I'm sure many of you will enjoy the number 3 out there. Bear will be sitting on the sidelines. On the sidelines out there. Great to see Jiminy. Great to see Jiminy out here. Let's see. Make the color white again. That would, holy cow, that would have been something if they would have said, okay, we're gonna do Black Panther 2, but because our actor died, we're gonna find the best actor that we can, and Harry Styles or something like that, we're just gonna totally race swap Black Panther out there. I bet he's a great actor. He's a great actor, people. I'm sure the heads, poof, would explode. Would explode out there. Province hasn't done daylight savings in years. Oh, it's daylight savings time. Holy cow. Uh-oh. Hold on just a second, people. Oh my goodness. It fell out. For crying out loud. Bear's beloved, his beloved headphones, what do you call that? The padding, it just fell off on Bear. Minor things, professional show, yada, yada, yada. We will go on. Daylight savings time. Holy cow. Bear has been trying to save daylight for many years now, but it just keeps slipping away through his claws. I just can't save it very well. Just cannot save it. A Canadian myth? I guess that's a daylight savings time. The Sasquatch, and the Wendigo. I always said Winnebago. Let's see, changing the high evolutionary's race doesn't bother me as much. I'm with you, Jimmy. Because he almost wears his armor. Almost always wears his armors. No one really knows what he looks like, even among comic fans. Well, what's his face out there was really, really perturbed about it, but apparently apparently in some of the comics he is shown out there, but there you go. Again, I'm sure that he's a fine actor. Nothing pro or against it. In Bear's opinion, it's going to be a terrible movie, and why even bother? But there we go. I always thought P-Money says that the high evolutionary was a monkey underneath. Now, sir, that is going too far. That is going too far, sir. Amy is making snacks out there. Amy is making snacks. I hope that's pretty good. Hope that is pretty good. P-Money says he didn't emphasize Melissa with enough exclamation points. So, there you go. There's all 35 of them. All 35 of them out there. Yes, indeed. Great to see Grant. Hello, Grant. Great to see you out there. Anyways, I brought this up for a larger discussion out there. Sometimes Bear gets these stories and it's like, okay, this is kind of somewhat important, but I'm not really sure how it's important. I'm sure it fits in there somewhere. Like the puzzle, you got your 1,000-piece puzzle piece, and you got, okay, here's a little puzzle, little piece here. Like, okay, I know this is important. I know it goes somewhere. It's got trees in there. It's gotta go to something here, but I'm not really sure where. Then you start to get some more of the pieces, and then now the picture starts to come together a little bit better out here. So using this to just kind of set the table out here for you good people. Because we've got this. We actually talked about this last time. We won't go through it. We'll go through it all again out here for you. We've got from Deadline out here. We were talking about this the last time. Warner Brothers discovery to boost CEO the Z-Man stock bonus ahead, based rather on a free cash flow. Essentially, he's making a bunch of money through his stocks, and he's going to get some bonus if he can do some free cash flow out there. In other words, freeing up some space. Of course, he's got, let's see, what is it? It was quite a bit here. Where is it? 1 second, people. I want to say it was like $50 billion or something like that. I thought it was in here somewhere. Anyway, oh yeah, here we go. Let's see. Warner Brothers debt stood at nearly $50 billion. So they're going to need to make some room there to pay down some debts. Got to do that, and if he's able to do that, he's gonna get paid out there. Let's see, the Z-Man out there trying to get $12 million in addition to 11.5 that he had last year. They're trying to set aside $27 million for all the other executives out there. And let's see, the Z-Man was coming in with $276 million of compensation out there. Yes, indeed. With 202 in stock options out there. So if he's doing really well, he's gonna get a bump, couple million, just a couple $1 million. Enough to buy a boat or something like that. So he's gonna get a bump up for that. So we were talking a little bit about that last time, kind of in relation to some of the other movies out there. But then all of a sudden, some of the pictures. The puzzle pieces start to come together, and you get a little bit of a bigger picture out there. So there we go. We've got $50 billion in debt. The main guy here, along with there we go. All these other folks out there. They're also trying to get some pay money out of it as well through the stocks out there. So they wanna get paid as well. And of course, they're talking about for the next couple years there. 23, 24, and 25. So this is going to be kind of important there. Keep this in mind here because he's trying to get employment agreement to also set his annual cash bonus for 24, 70% quantitative and qualitative goals out there. So there you go. Let's just keep that in the back of the mind. Keep that in the back of the mind there. There are more exclamation points in the chat than Bear has ever seen. Holy cow. You go, people. You go out there. So anyways, we were talking about the last time. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. But just put that in the feather in your cap there. Put that in your cap there. We had this, what was this? February 22nd. So a couple of weeks ago, I think Bear just kind of touched upon it just very briefly out there. Comicbook.com. Oh, by the way, Deadline and Jill Goldsmith out there for the last one. Patrick Kavanaugh from comicbook.com out here. HBO Max boss explains the reason for the Westworld removal. HBO Max is part of Warner Brothers out there. It's their streaming service, which they're going to rename to Max. It's like, oh, Max. Oh, you mean not Plus? No, not Plus. Max. Not HBO Max. No, just Max. Oh, okay, Max. Okay. Like your friend Max or something like that. No, not a person. No, it's a streaming service. Oh, okay. All right. Streaming service. Oh. Amy asked, did Bear say $50 billion in debt? Yes, that would be $50 billion in debt right there for Warner Brothers. I'm not sure exactly how much is coming due this year. Usually they're stretched out. If Bear remembers correctly, they're a little bit better off with Warner Brothers, even though they got a lot of debt there. Disney is more. Gosh, it was some crazy amount. 150 or something like that $1 billion, and a lot of that was coming due relatively soon here. Their debt is not several years off. They're going to be able to pay it off, but yeah, you got a chain around your neck there. That's a pretty big chain, $50 billion. Amy says, I don't know who managed that, but they should have been fired a while ago. Well, it's kind of hard to fire yourself. Mainly a lot of that was Discovery. The Discovery networks, they ended up buying Warner Brothers from AT&T. AT&T was selling off Warner Brothers, so that's where a lot of their debt came from. They took on a lot of debt to buy Warner Brothers out there. And now the Z-Man is trying to turn it all around and make a profit out there. So the question is, how? How is he going to make a profit? I'm assuming the Z-Man out here wants his whatever, $12 million plus extras out there. So he's going to need to do that by breaking up some stuff out there and finding some free cash. Out there. So that's kind of what we're talking about here. That's why sometimes Bear kind of comes into it and says, this is important. What is this, February 22nd? This is kind of important, but I don't know how or why. Well, now we can start to put it together here. HBO Max, Westworld. I don't know if many people remember Westworld. Kind of who is that? Michael Crichton book and movie back in the 70s. It was a theme park, kind of taken off of on Disney. Kind of a proto Jurassic Park. So instead of dinosaurs, they were robots, and it was in the Wild West out there. That's why they called it Westworld. Premiering in 2016, Westworld was poised to help carry the weight of the ongoing conclusion of Game of Thrones. It was supposed to be the next Game of Thrones. They were really working really hard on making that the next Game of Thrones. I think it was the most expensive series to that date. The Lord of the Rings stuff blew past that a little while back. But at the time, 2016, multi-million dollar per episode. A lot of stars, a lot of, prestige TV out there, all that sort of stuff. Game of Thrones was starting to sunset. They still had a lot of the good episodes before they crept to bed in the last season there. So they're trying to look, okay, Game of Thrones is ending. What can we do? What can we do? So they settled on Westworld here. With those initial seasons earning a lot of excitement and attention from the audiences. No, the first season. The other seasons were terrible. God awful. Long story short, the first season was great, 2016. A really interesting, kind of gritty. Think of like the first couple of seasons of Game of Thrones, but just set with AI, robots, and in the West, that sort of deal. And then the Me Too movement came through, and so Westworld ended on a really interesting cliffhanger, and then season 2 just completely terrible plot lines, terrible acting, just terrible writing, terrible everything. They were trying to just really lean into that Me Too movement when the show had nothing to do, especially the first season, nothing to do at all with the Me Too movement. So second season, people left in droves, including Bear. They made 5 seasons total out there. So yeah, they say a lot of fans out there. Go ahead and show Bear. Yeah, fan favorite. Ha ha ha. Show Bear out there. So, anyways, they canceled it after season 5 out here. Additionally, HBO Max even removed all 4 seasons from its streaming library with HBO and HBO Max. Again, remember, this was supposed to take over for Game of Thrones. You'd figure people would discover, like, oh, I never saw Westworld, let me check it out. So they would put it on their streaming library. Nope, it's gone. Now, where did it go? Let's see. CEO Casey Bloys recently detailing not only the reason for the cancellation, but also the unexpected decision to remove the series from its library. Much like, some of the Looney Tunes stuff, they've been removing a lot of stuff on their quote-unquote streaming service. Unsurprisingly, the major motivation for this decision was due to, say with me, people, financial budgeting. P-Money asked, Discovery needed to make money, start a lemonade stand. 50 billion lemonade stands out there. If they made a lemonade with milk, they'd be trillions of dollars into debt, says Amy. This is true. This is true out there. I don't always feel like documentaries, but Lemonade asks Melissa. Yes, indeed, Lemonade. When a bear refuses to watch your show, you know it's gone downhill. Yes, indeed. First season was great. The second season, man, oh man, Bear struggled through it. It was just like, okay, this has got to get good. A very big portion of it was, it's not time travel, but they were taking things that had already happened and then flashing back, so you weren't really certain whether or not it was in essentially the present tense, or whether it was happening in the past, or with it happening in the future. They did a really good job of that with the first season. Unfortunately, a lot of people on like Reddit and some of the other places kind of figured out what the big twist was in the first season. Well, since nobody's seen it, no, it's not on HBO. Spoiler alert out there, people. They had two different Williams in the show. So you had a young William out there just starting out with the Westworld, and then you had an older William with Ed Harris. And a lot of people thought it was two separate people. At the very end of this season, it became clear that it was the same William. It was just we were watching some stuff from like 20 years previously, and then you're watching the current William now, and you figure, oh, it was two different. No, it was the same person. So, anyways, they was like, oh, we lost the boat on that. We need to make it even more confusing than it was before. So they just basically, threw all narrative out the window and was just throwing stuff up against the wall. In addition to the Me Too stuff, it was just terrible. Bear gave up like halfway through, and then everybody was saying, oh no, the one with the Indian was great. And it's like, oh, okay, let's check it out. Saw like the final two episodes. It's like, oh no, this is still crap. This is still awful. So, anyways, that was that. The Indians going into the afterworld with a portal. They opened up a portal in Westworld, and all the Indian androids went through the portal, and then they went to the afterlife, the android afterlife. But the android afterlife was on a separate server, like on a space station or something. It made no sense. It made no sense. But Bear's gonna make sense for you, good people. The conversation was what was the right amount of money in streaming. So that means what's the right amount of money for Max Original. And conversations about the library. Does every single library show that we have on HBO Max need to be exclusive to HBO Max? And the fellow that's run it, he says no. People tend to forget the history of television was Windows DVDs. I assume that he's release Windows, not actual like Windows on your computer or Windows on your house out there. The history of television was Windows. Okay. These are expensive shows to make. The idea that they're going to sit in the library forever, even at $15 a month. Actually, it's going up to $20 a month. That's never how TV has operated. No. That's why you guys went into streaming, because it was going to be something totally different and revolutionary. And we were going to be able to watch any show we wanted at any time we wanted, because streaming's the future. Well, guess what, people? It's not the future. When HBO Max launched, it brought with it, a massive library of beloved titles, as well as the debut of original movies and TV shows. With some of these, originals were removed from HBO Max, and they likely won't be earning a physical release. They have become available to rent on other services. Boyce went on to note that with Westworld going with what they call fast, free ad supported. Like, like ABC or NBC or CBS. Some of those shows. Legacy stuff. I guess they had it right after all. Go figure. So they're putting it on platforms like Tubi and the Roku channel. Series creator Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy were alerted of the pivot. He goes on, he says, I think some people forget that there's a vast majority of the population that don't want to pay anything for a streaming service. Not only here, but internationally. In the same way that Netflix was a brand new thing, let's throw up some shows up there and expose it to a new audience and see how it does. I think if you had that kind of dip, what was he saying? I think you have to kind of dip your toe in and see what's out there. I have no idea if the ad supporting is going to be a huge business, but I do know that some people don't want to pay and are okay with getting advertisements. Now, again, they're not advertisements on HBO Max, even though there is a tier for, I believe, they might be getting a tier for ad-supported stuff. He goes on, and that's potentially a very big audience and a new audience for a show, so that's something we're trying. And it goes on, they're working at our good friends at Amazon out there. So what they're doing here is they're taking it off of HBO Max and they're putting it onto other services, and those other services are collecting ad revenue, and I would assume you're not giving it away for free. You're probably licensing out there. The article doesn't go on to say how much the Westworld was licensed for, but there you go. There is HBO Max is sending one of their premiere shows. They did cancel it. But they're sending it over to, what was it, Roku, and what was the other one? I'm sorry here, people. Roku and, gosh darn it. Anyways, Tubi. Tubi out there. They're going to send those over to, one would assume, rival streaming services, right? So that's where they're getting a little bit of money, a little bit of lucre there from one of their properties here. That's gonna make the Z-Man a little bit happy out there, don't you think? Beer thinks so. And great to see Humphrey out here. Good to see you, sir. And or madam. Beer doesn't presume to know. It is 2023 out here. P-Money says, in the future, they'll just implant the memories of watching a series so we never have to see the show. Bear wishes he could remove the memories of Westworld, especially the second season. Terrible. Ultimate binge watch, just implant the series in your memories. There you go. And erase the ones we like so we can rewatch them, says Grant. That's true. There you go. They must be using all the toasters to make sandwiches. What? What the hell? You're going on something else. I don't know. I just like the storytelling technique. Show a scene that says 38 hours earlier. It didn't even show 38 hours earlier. You had... Basically, it was the unreliable narrator. So things that happened at the very beginning of, like, episode 1 were actually events that were happening at the end of the end of the season. So the character wakes up, and he's waking up, and you think that it is present tense time, but no, it's actually the stuff that's going to be going on at the very end of this series. And then he's going through a different set of things. He's an unreliable narrator, so it jumps around in time, and it doesn't even give you, okay, here we are in time. It's completely backwards. I would say go check it out, but you'd have to go to Roku or Tubi or whatever the hell. You can't find it on Warner Brothers here. So, anyways, there we go. The Z-Man trying to make some money out here. Sold off one of his premiere series out there, even though Beer says it's first one great, the rest of it terrible. So he's selling off his premiere one with Westworld. What else could happen? What else could possibly happen out there? We go to our Mensa members out here at Screen Rant. Let's see, Andy, what? How do you pronounce that? Andy Beckabart. We'll just call him Andy. Good old Andy out there. Andy B. The Batman, not the Batman. Oh, God. Batman Caped Crusader gets major positive update. The J.J. Abrams out there. Matt Reeves on an upcoming Batman Caped Crusader, gets a major positive update. As the show gets a new home, what? And 2-season order. Interesting. How many Batmans are they going to do? Oh, for crying out loud. The Batman looks a lot like Titan. Gary, go get you a lawyer. Go get you a lawyer, Gary. I'm sure you'd be rolling in that sweet, sweet dough out there. J.J. Abrams, who has a contract with Warner Brothers out there, Warner Brothers Discovery. Matt Reeves, unfortunately, has contract with HBO. Warner Brothers Discovery out there. Upcoming Batman Caped Crusader gets a major positive update as the show gets what? A new home? Well, the new DC universe is being crafted by DC Studios. Elsewhere, worlds-based projects are still happening, such as The Batman. One such project announced years ago is Batman Caped Crusader, a new take on the animated Dark Knight, developed by Abrams, Reeves, and Bruce Timm, who I believe did the first one back in the 90s. The show was initially slated for HBO Max. However, things took a turn when Batman Caped Crusader lost his place at the streamer and was being, listen to me people, shopped around. In August 2022, Netflix and Apple Plus TV emerged as frontrunners for the DC animated series. It's been almost a year since the last update about the streaming show's future, but things are now moving forward. The Hollywood Reporter is reporting Batman Caped Crusader is being finalized to land at, where is it, people? Amazon. Interesting. The Abrams and Reeves produced series is getting a 2-season order, not just one. They're not just, hey, let's see how it works. Let's see how it. No, they're putting their money where their mouth is. 2 seasons, although no premiere date is set. According to the trade, Hulu is another potential home before Amazon picked them up. As of now, representatives of all involved parties have not commented. As the Hollywood Reporter stated, former deals have not yet closed, but they're reporting it, so it's probably getting pretty close. Let's see. Batman Caped Crusader is coming to Amazon is a major deal for a number of reasons. They don't name them here. It's a huge deal for Bear, but they don't name them. It's one of the handful of DC projects to survive after being axed at HBO Max during the Warner Brothers Discovery cost-cutting efforts. So they cut the show, right? They cut the show. This is okay. No more the Batman Caped Crusader. But yet they shopped it around. They shopped it around until finally Amazon came and bought it. Interesting. This is also coming after a deal was struck to produce DC TV animation on Amazon with Warner Brothers TV in November 2022. Warner Brothers TV president Channing Dungey first began teasing that plans were in the works with Amazon. He stressed that HBO Max will still be a priority if they can work it out. While HBO Max may be the first stop, they are clearly looking to build outside the house partnerships. With major companies such as Amazon, what it probably also means for DC is that Amazon may be the platform that releases animated Elseworld-based content. While HBO Max hosts DC Universe-type series, Amazon can be the place for independent DC animated projects. Very interesting. And of course, James Gunn DC Universe is coming up. It's great to see the Elseworld properties still going forward with the trio, the brain trust of Reeves and Abraham. Mr. Tim as well. Batman Caped Crusader will be a fascinating show to follow, given the noir-driven tone they're going for, yada yada yada, blah 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 blah. So that's another little interesting data point there. Yeah, he does look like Titan. He does. I don't know. Does Titan frown that much though? I'm not sure, but there you go. That was a very close-looking one there for Gary. Might be pretty close out there. Oh goodness, I am behind on the chat here. Let's see. The Doom that came to Gotham was creepily good, says Jimmy. I have to check that out. Imagine if Disney Plus bought Batman Cape Crusader. Awkward, says P Money. Let's see. New animated Batman movie set in the 1920s. Says Jiminy. It's based on Elseworld series by Mike Mignola, the creator of Hellboy. So it's a mix between Hellboy and Batman. Interesting. I like the first Hellboy movie, and the second one too. The second one was pretty good. I kind of like the first one a little bit better though. The reboot with what's the face, the guy from the Strangers thing. I never cared to watch that one, but yeah, the other Guillermo del Toro, he did a pretty good job with that. Jiminy stresses not for the children though. Not for the children though. Here we go. And there you are. So that kind of adding up to some data points here for Bear. Let me get some data points here because we were talking about this a little while back. Let's see, this was back in February 10th. Good friends bending into comics, John F. Trent, of course. This was a rumor. Bear always says, hey, rumors, sources say, yada, yada, yada. And just, put a little asterisk on that. But this is kind of interesting to kind of revisit. A James Gunn DCU slate rumored to be bait for potential buyer. Allegedly has a secret plan in case of Amazon, Apple, or Universal gobble up Warner Brothers. I don't think they're going to gobble up Warner Brothers, but maybe DC. Let's see. The latest rumor, again, rumors, sources say, yada, 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 coming out of Warner Media claims that much of James Gunn recently announced plans for DCU might not even come to fruition, as the whole thing is gambit in order to better attract a buyer such as Amazon, I'm just talking about, or Apple. And not only that, but Gunn apparently has a secret slate planned in case the company does indeed get bought up. The rumor coming from Walt Disney World Pro. He normally does Walt Disney World stuff, but interesting. Who claims to have received information from a Warner Media employee. Again, sources say, yada, yada, yada. What's the topic? We're getting to it. We're trying to wrap it all together here. Humphrey Bear. It may be that DC might be getting sold here. So we're setting the case. Here. So anyways, just a rumor here. He states Warner Brothers Discovery with both DC and Harry Potter is to soft reboot the franchises in order to make them more viable and healthy. He says, however, rebooting them with projects that are highly interconnected and or episodic and chronological consistency is not desired at this time. The reason might surprise. Warner Brothers Discovery, allegedly expects to be purchased within the next 3 to 5 years. That just kind of happens to line up with the Z-Man here. We were just talking about this. And his, where was it here? Come on, Bear. Here we go. He's looking to get extra money. 23, 24, 25. Very interesting. Therefore, it is not in Warner Brothers Discovery's interest to craft huge franchise worlds like seen in the MCU, because such a thing would make a potential buyer beholden to this new roadmap. Instead, Warner Brothers Discovery allegedly feels the more lucrative option is to rejuvenate the franchises with non-connected properties. Hello, Batman Cape Crusader. Hello, Westworld heading off. While still unloading bad inventory so that when a company like Apple or Amazon, when they purchase them, potentially gets the benefit of a refreshed franchise, plus the ability to craft their new cinematic universe in whatever way they choose. More interesting. After analysis of this alleged information from YouTubers Valiant Renegade, they provided more details. I said on top of having James Gunn sitting on top of DC is seen as a lure for those companies to offer more, Apple or Amazon or Universal would get a reinvigorated franchise with a mostly clean slate and a proven superhero to Rated Rock. We'll see. Maybe. I don't know. He's not that great, but okay. We'll go with it. Better writer than a director, but we'll go with it. Furthermore, a Gunn may have been brought into the fold with this plan all along. Dun 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 dun. Have fun with scrappy passion projects in the short term, and then go crazy with huge movies once Apple or Amazon budget comes spraying cash everywhere. He then noticed, according to these sources of Warner Brothers Discovery, the latter projects in this recent phase, one reveal of DC may not even happen, and that might be okay as part of the bigger picture out there. So yeah, he might be doing, stuff like The Authority, or he might do some of the other, different Elseworld stuff out there, but it might be just a cover for some of the other companies to come in here. He says another tidbit of info. While you might think of Apple and or Amazon as the only ones interested in buying Warner, again, I don't think they're going to buy Warner, but maybe DC Studios. Universal is attempting a play. They have a relationship with the Harry Potter people, and they want to leverage it in that attempt. So there they go. They want to do that. He says, I'm told that a Gunn, the Z-Man, and Saffron, they have a Plan A DC roadmap. If that goes into effect, that only goes into effect if Amazon or Apple buy and approve. Though it could be used in negotiations to show it's primed, it's unaffordable for Warner Brothers with its current situation, but an Apple or Amazon could fund it. By the way, this is all the reason I'm told Cavill was let go. They're in a hold until the big guns bring money to the table. So again, they get rid of Henry Cavill. They say, hey, we're going to write a movie. We're going to come up with a Superman movie. But it might not actually be coming out. They might just be promoting all of that stuff just to get it sold out there. Anyways, they talk about some of that. Let's see. Yeah, they're trying to get $300 million budgets and all that sort of stuff. We're not going to see $300 million budgets. Maybe The Flash, only because they had to do reshoots and a whole bunch of other shenanigans that are going on with that. If you're going to bring in Saffron and Gunn, you're going to be doing, in this case, lower budget movies. $50 to $100 million, somewhere right around there. So probably they might do a couple of those, see how well they go, and then maybe they might get bought out. Anyways, they got an 8 to 10 year plan, yada yada yada. But maybe only a couple of those we'll actually see at Warner Brothers, and maybe they might actually get sold out. So there you go. Let's see. Something outside of that, like Matt Reeves' The Batman, or Todd Phillips' Joker, Teen Titans Go, that's clearly labeled as DC Elseworlds outside of the mainstream DCU continuity, explained Gunn. So we've already got that. We already have that with this guy right here. They've already sold that one off, and it's actually got, well, we'll put J.J. Abrams aside. The Batman, that's Matt Reeves, he's trying to do all these interconnected stories and whatnot with The Batman out there. So, if the guy is trying to come up with an animated series, why sell it off to Amazon if you're trying to make people come into HBO Max, especially if you're trying to charge $20 for it? Might be kind of interesting. Out there. Again, he had another one here. Netflix as well. There was a rumor Netflix could come in. They were talking about the Snyderverse, but just kind of generally, could Netflix come in and purchase DC? Maybe. We might throw them in as well. So you got Apple, you got Amazon, you got Universal, maybe, possibly, and Netflix out there as well. So you got 4 different companies saying, hey, we've got some interest in this. And you got the Z-Man out here looking a couple years ahead for his annual cash bonus. Kind of starts to come together just a little bit there. Kind of starts to come together where they're doing some of this stuff. Yes. Yes, indeed. At least the bear. At least the bear. Feel free to disagree. Feel free to disagree. Is La Brea any good on NBC? I don't know. This bear does not know. This bear does not know. That's the one where they like fall into the tar pits and they go back in time, and it's like dinosaurs and all this other stuff. And like, oh, okay, all right, that's fine. But like, if you fell through a time portal to the past, like how long before your clothes just get like completely grungy? Like, you can last a couple days, but like, imagine if it goes on for like 5 seasons. Are they gonna wear the same clothes? Like, oh no, we've got on our winter clothes now. Well, where did you get clothes at? Oh, well, at the store down the way. Oh, well, it's millions of years in the past. Oh, well, reasons out there. There you go. I don't know. Haven't seen it. Haven't seen it. So no one suspects Netflix to buy Batman. Well, maybe not, Amy. Maybe or maybe not out there. Jiminy's drawing of Superman is so much nicer than, let's see, I'm guessing that one. Kind of reminds a little Weldon-esque out there. Kind of Weldon-esque. I mean, Weldon would do better as well, but there you go. There is your Superman that may or may not come. It's kind of interesting. So, again, Netflix, Apple, Amazon, who was the other one? Universal out there. A number of people out there. So, if you're a Warner Brothers Discovery, if you're the Z-Man out there, if you're looking to make your payday, if you're looking to free up some cash flow, so not only A, can you pay down some debt, but B, also get your payday out there as well. Probably licensing first. I mean, like we talked about here with Westworld, this Batman Cape Crusader. They're licensing that. They're licensing a number of other shows out there as well. Oops, there we go. So they're already licensing that stuff out. The whole premise behind the streaming service was to have all that stuff under one roof, so people go and they pay their $15 or $20 a month. And they says, it's all here on HBO Max. Well, it's not there anymore. It's on 10 different other streaming services. Now you gotta go buy all those. And you're gonna have enough money left over for HBO Max? Maybe not. You never know. So, kind of interesting. I'm wondering if maybe they might be selling the old DC, or at the very least, licensing it out. Have Warner Brothers still control the IP, but license it out to other places. Yeah, think of like Sony and Spider-Man out there. So let's just say Sony owns the Spider-Man license out there, but let's just say Warner Brothers DC, they decide to license out Batman. Let's just say to, I don't know, Apple. Apple might produce it. They'll put all the money into it. They'll pay Warner Brothers. They'll pay them a little bit of money out there, or lots of money probably, to be able to produce that stuff. So people come to Apple TV, and so they see all the stuff of DC there. But a little bit of money still goes back to Warner Brothers out there. Or hey, $50 billion of debt is a lot of debt out there. So why not just go ahead and sell the whole kit and caboodle? Take out all your debt. Your debt's taken care of. You still have all your Warner Brothers properties, except for maybe DC or something like that. Take care of your debt. You get paid. You're living the high life. You don't have to worry about all these crazy people, or even a bear out there on the internet talking about your stuff out there. So there you go. That's Bear's opinion. That is the topic tonight, Humphrey. That was the topic tonight. Holy cow, Jiminy had a big art giveaway to celebrate 1K subscribers. Congratulations, sir. One of the pieces was a Superman drawing, and Amy loved it. There you go. There you go. Amy asks, so that's why they're cutting a lot of the big name actors. Yeah, they're one of the comments here, I forget if it was this article or whatever. Let's see, what was he? Pardon me here 1 second. Yeah, they were talking about bringing Cavill back in. Basically, there was kind of a, what was he talking about? Kind of a holding pattern. So they were trying to figure out, okay, who's going to buy it, all that sort of stuff. So they say, okay, let's go ahead and get rid of Cavill. Let's write the treatment for the new Superman movie. And if somebody wants to come along with $300 million, hey, terrific. All right, here you go. Here's your new Superman movie. Kind of like a turnkey type operation. Like, okay, here's your movie. Here's your Superman movie. We've already got it written. We've already got, some of the pieces in place. All you need to do is bring your money. So I doubt, Beer doubts that Warner Brothers is going to do $300 million for their Superman movie. Probably not. $100 million, maybe. That would be probably the upper limit there, because they got a lot of debt, lot of debt out there. Let me grab a drink. Hold on. Let's see. Space hopping, time traveling Walmart. That's how Amy guesses. There you go. If they could license IPs like record labels license covers, that would be cool. Maybe. No. There's probably too many moving parts. Usually with your record companies, it's a handful of people that have their fingers in the cookie jar. There's way more people to do that. So probably either licensing it out with a high license fee, or just sell it outright. That's where beer would go with it. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. Finally, people, not to do with anything out here. Pardon me. From the good friends at the drive out here, Rod Stumpf. However, it warms Bear's cold heart out here. Alleged thieves in a Tesla SUV arrested after stopping to charge 10 miles from the crime scene. Police seem to have a love-hate relationship with electric cars. They love the cost savings. On the other hand, calling off a chase due to running low on a charge is kind of a bad thing. But in rare cases like the February arrest of a pair of alleged thieves, although you can see all the stuff in the back of their car, the EV can be a surprisingly efficient tool in subduing criminals. Over the weekend, Gwinnett County police posted news of an ironic arrest on Twitter, and perhaps what could only be seen as a cruel twist of fate. Two people suspected of burglaring a Sam's store in Buford, Georgia, on February 19th were arrested after they stopped to charge their Tesla Model X at a charging station just 15 minutes from the store they were accused of ripping off. When police responded to the burglary, witnesses were only able to give a description of the vehicle and its manufacturer. In the likelihood of the police actually finding the thieves would be slim to none, with such a broad description. Still, the Business Insider reports that responding authorities had already broadcasted the vehicle's description to other officers in the immediate area, and the police discovered a Model X matching the description at a charging station about 10 miles away. It's not clear if the Model X was owned by one of the thieves or if it was stolen. However, it is apparent that the Tesla didn't have enough charge to get where it was going. Despite the SUV having as much as 348 miles of range. Wow, holy cow. The bandits still had to make a pit stop at a charging station to top off the electric SUV, which takes about half an hour? So if they're really low, they had to wait around for quite a while there. So there you go. Anyways, some good news story out there for you good people out there, especially if you're in Georgia. Why you would want to live in Georgia, Bear has no idea. No idea whatsoever out there. But there you go. One of Bear's favorite stories of the new year out here. Alleged thieves in Tesla SUV arrested after stopping to charge. That's good fun. were the alleged thieves in a car they didn't know? Well, we don't know. It didn't say in the article there, but there you are. Load it up. What do they have? Looks like shoes, an electric a whole bunch of electric toothbrushes. What is that in the very bottom there? I can't. Something kids at home. I can't read it there. It's a little fuzzy. And I don't know. Maybe some audio equipment. I don't know. What do you get at Sam's? You'd figure you'd get a whole bunch of ribs instead. Maybe they didn't have a cooler. It's like, oh, we gotta stop. We gotta stop after we burglar this store and charge it up. Not gonna have enough AC in the car to be able to keep all those ribs cold. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, out there. All right. Anything else? Bear have anything else? Not so much. Not so much. All right. There we go. The dance party out there. Bear apologizes for not having any music whatsoever out here, but there you go. Here is your lone aloha dancer out there. Yes, indeed. Oh, cool. Oh, yeah. Looks fishy out there. Yes, indeed. All right, well, let Bear go through and thank everybody here that stopped by. Of course, all of the Lesters out here. Great to see VM. And P-Money as well, and all of the other monies out there. We hope you're all doing well out there. Let's see, we got Grant here. Always great to see Grant. And, of course, Jiminy as well. Yes, indeed. All the great stuff. Yes, indeed. Am I missing anybody? I hope I'm not missing. Oh, Humphrey Bear. And, of course, all of the lurkers and Russian bots out there. I tell you what, people, we've had a number of people subscribe to the channel and checking out some videos there. So if you happen to be one of those great folks out there, we welcome you. Hope you enjoy the fun that we try to have. Try is the operative word out here. Try to have out there. And be sure to check out, people, Bear's alternate channel out there. Completely blowing up. I can't believe it. Just straight to the moon, people. Straight to the moon. It's going to overtake Bear's main channel here. Yes, indeed. So if you want to check that out, that's where we put all of the live shows after we're done. Check that out. Try to have some fun over there as well, so check that out. Yes, subscribe, people. I think most of everybody here is subscribed, but if you aren't, if you happen to watch this later or something like that, we enjoy you out here, and hopefully you enjoy Bear's show as well. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Amy. Thank you so much. All right, well, you know what? Bear, even though the tongue has been sizzled by his attempt to make some salsa out here, he's gonna try some tacos out there. See how it works. So all of this talk about fishiness, and tacos, you know what? It's making Bear hungry, so he's gonna head back into the woods. So until next time, people. Grrr.